Hello and welcome to Prithviraj English Academy. Dear friends and students, as you all know that we are doing the social studies series for 10th standard Karnataka state boards. In this video we are going to discussing about the SST part number 2's new syllabus of 2024s and 25s. In that chapter number 21, India's foreign policy and global challenges. So I am going to divide the explanation of this lesson in two parts. So this is the first part. In this first part, we are going to doing with India's foreign policy. About this much only we are going to do in this video, and remain in second part we are going to do the global challenges. In this video, I am going to use the bilingual language. I am going to use here. One is English and another is Kannada. So without a delay, let's start the question. Let's start the explanation of this chapter. So we'll go through the introduction of this lesson. So for the first point only, a political scientist called Wolfgang Deutsch had said about his quotation, a statement is there related to the foreign policy. So I was going to given that if civilization is destroyed in future, it will be not by famine or plague, but by the international relations and foreign policies. According to him, in a future, if civilization will going to destroy, those are not going to by the famine and the plague. Those are going to by the international relations and the foreign policies. ಅಂದರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು ಕಾಲ್ ಉಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಡ್ಯೂಯೇಜ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಏನಂದ್ರ ಮುಂದಿನ ಒಂದು ದಿನಮಾನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಭವಿಷ್ಯತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಗರಿಕತೆಗಳು ಏನಾದರೂ ಹಾಳಾದರೆ ಅದು ಬರಗಾಲ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ಲೇಗ್ನಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಏನಾದರೂ ಹಾಳಾದರೆ ಅದು ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಸಂಬಂಧಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿದೇಶಿ ನೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಇದು ಅವನ ಕೊಟೇಶನ್. So next point is Jawaharlal Nehru's role in laying a solid foundation for India's foreign policy is significant. Hence, he is called as a father of Indian foreign policy. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜವಾಹರ್ಲಾಲ್ ನೆಹರುವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಏನಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭಾರತದ ವಿದೇಶಾಂಗ ನೀತಿಯ ಪಿತಾಮಹ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ರೀ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರೇ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಭದ್ರವಾದ ಬುನಾದಿಯನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿಕೊಟ್ರು ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾರು? Jawaharlal Nehru. Next, move to the next. Meaning of foreign policy. The policy adopted by a nation while dealing with other nations is called foreign policy. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ? ಒಂದು ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಏನು ತನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ನೀತಿಯನ್ನ ಏನದು ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತದ ಯಾವಾಗಂದ್ರೆ ವಿದೇಶಿಗರೊಂದಿಗೆ ವ್ಯವಹರಿಸುವ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಏನೊಂದು ನೀತಿಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆ ನೀತಿಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? Foreign policy ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So according to Professor Mahendra Kumar, throughout course of action for achieving objectives in foreign relation as dedicated by the ideology of national interest. So ಇದು according to the Mahendra Kumar ಇದನ್ರಿ ಏನು meaning of foreign policy. Now move to the next. Factors determining India's foreign policy. ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಅಂಶಗಳು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ್ರಿ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿಗೆ. ಅದ್ಯಾವಂದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎನಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಇಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಾಫಿಕಲ್, ಹಿಸ್ಟಾರಿಕಲ್, ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್, ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್, ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್, ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್, ಡೆಮೋಗ್ರಾಫಿಕ್, ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿಕಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್. I hope you understood geographical, historical, cultural, social, economic, political. Demographic means related to the people, the pattern of the population. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿಕಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ದೇಶದ ಒಂದು ವಿದೇಶಾಂಗ ನೀತಿ ಅದು ಏನಿದ್ರು ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇದೇನಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ, ಹಿಸ್ಟಾರಿಕಲ್, ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್, ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್, ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್, ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್, ಡೆಮೋಗ್ರಾಫಿಕ್, ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿಕಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಮೇಲಿನ ಇದನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಂಡಿಯಾನು ಪಾಲಿಸಿನೂ ಇವುಗಳನ್ನು ಒಳಗೊಂಡು ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅವು ಯಾವ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಸ್ ಫಾಲೋ. ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಆರ್: ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಯುನಿಟಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಾವರ್ನಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ನೇಷನ್, interdependence, where the interdependence each other, protection and development of the national interest, ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಡೆನೂ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕಡೆನೂ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು ವಿದೇಶಾಂಗ ನೀತಿಯನ್ನು ನಿರ್ಧರಿಸುವಾಗ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಏನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಿ? ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎನ್ಕರೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಲಕ್ಷ್ಯ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವುದಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಾಫಿಕಲ್ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ನೇಷನ್, ಇದು ಭಾಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಲೊಕೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಡೀ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೈಜ್ ಅದ ನಮ್ಮದು, ಎಷ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮದು ಗಾತ್ರ ಅದ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಒಳಗೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಒಳಗೆ, ಅದು ಭಾಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಐಡಿಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಐಡಿಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕಲ್ ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗದಿ, ಮತ್ತು ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ನಮ್ಮದು ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ತದ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೇನು ಇದು ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಐಡಿಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್. ನಾವು ಕಮ್ ಟು ದಿ ಥರ್ಡ್, external determining factors. Those are international conditions. International, what are the conditions are there, those are going to determine the foreign policies. Like the worlds are going to fighting each other, or such environment is there, a good environment is there. According to that our foreign policy will going to decided. Yeah, depending. Relations with international organizations like UNO, SAARC, G20, how our relation will be there. Okay, then come to the global public opinion. Entire the world, what kind of opinion we have about our nation, that is also going to determine. Now come to the foreign policy of India. Okay, as you know, every country will going to have its own foreign policy to protect the interest of the nations. Like that, Indian foreign policy also going to based on the geographical, cultural, social, economical, political and moral background. So now come to the next point is evolution of the foreign policy of the evolution of the Indian foreign policy, how it was going to got developed our foreign policy. So as you know, it was started by when the Britishers are there in India, that time only it was started. Here we can means the year you can come to know, 1925, the Indian National Congress created a separate department of external affairs to deal with the foreign countries. For convenience of study, its evolution can be divided into the 3 stages. So when in the year of 1925, Indian National Congress was created a separate department, that is external affairs, to deal with the foreign countries. To come to know, to study correctly about the evolution, we are going to divide it in 3 stages. The first one we are going to call it as a Jawaharlal Nehru's idealism phase from 1947 to 1959, the timeline it is. So what happened here, the idealism greatly influenced the foreign policies of India. Idealism means what? Idea that inspire everyone to live in peace. What is the idea Jawaharlal Nehru has? Everyone should be live in peace. He has a good ideology. He has a good idea, and because of that, he was going to took our this one Kashmir issue to the United Nations in the year of 1947 for the peaceful, for what? For the peaceful settlement. And along with that, he has the Panchashila agreement with the China. Means 5 points are there in that agreement. Okay, in the year of the Panchashila Tattva agreement was signed between India and China in the year of 1954. Then along with that, he was supported for the non-alignment. You will come to know about what it means, the non-alignment. Non-alignment means what? After the World War II, the world was going to divide it in 2 parts. Means both the USA and the Russia wants to become a powerful nation, means want to become powerful. So India was not going to join either America nor Russia. It was going to have, means it was a neutral it is, that is going to call it a non-alignment. And then come to the, it has one more thing is that Jawaharlal Nehru has the anti-colonialism. He has the anti-colonialism means ವಸಾಹತುಶಾಹಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ರ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದಿ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಈಸ್ next it is apartheid. Apartheid means a discrimination based on the color. Was not going to he was not going to follow that. And then come to the anti-imperialism. Anti-imperialism. Imperialism means what? Anti-imperialism means what? Imperialism means it is about extending a country's power by the military force. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯಶಾಹಿರಿ. ಇದನ್ನು ಇವೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಅವರು ಅಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಯಾರು? ಜವಾಹರ್ಲಾಲ್ ನೆಹರು. ಈ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಪಂಚಶೀಲ ತತ್ವ, ದೆನ್ ನಾನ್ ಅಲೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಆ್ಯಂಟಿ colonialism, anti-apartheid, anti-imperialism, these are okay. Then we come to the second phase of strategic realism in the year of 1959 to 1991. As you know, we have the agreement, Panchashila agreement with the China, and we are going to consider that China will be our friend. But unfortunately, in the year of 1962, China had attacked on India. And then Jawaharlal Nehru's idea became reconsidered. What is that? Everyone should be live in peace. That idea was reconsidered. And international relations, in that we will come to know that very important it is. No one is a permanent enemy and no one is a permanent friend in international relations. So why the China was going to attack on us? Because we have given the shelter to the Dalai Lama of Tibet. He was the enemy of China. In the year of 1959, we have given him the shelter. And along with that, in the year of 1961, military conquest of Goa from Portuguese marked beginning of the strategic realism. Means what? Two things. One is China's attack, and one more is we had for Goa we had a fight with the Portuguese. So these two have given the means part to the strategic realism. After the Nehru, a prime minister like Lal Bahadur Shastri, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, they have given the development of the strategic realism. For example, you can take example of Lal Bahadur Shastri. He opposed the American policy in Vietnam. Even though he know that if suppose he may be opposed to the America, he may be facing the food crisis in India, but still he was opposed. Indira Gandhi also same. She was responsible for the liberation of the East Pakistan from West Pakistan and creation of the Bangladesh. As you know, East Pakistan means today's Pakistan. East Pakistan means it was two parts. That is today's Bangladesh will be going to call it as a, before it is West Pakistan. Now it is Bangladesh. And you can take the time of the Rajiv Gandhi's sumo Dorang events with the China. These are the examples of the strategic realism. Now come to the third, economic experimental phase from 1991 to till present. In the time of we should know that international politics, a country's economic power has a major impact on the balance power. Means balancing of the power we will come to know by we are going to measure by the economic power of that country. So India maybe realized this one when during the time of the Narasimha Rao was a Prime Minister of India, and he was adopted globalization through that in the form of liberalization and privatization. Because of these two things, a private investment was started in India. And afterwards, henceforth, the whoever prime minister came, they have given the encouragement for this globalization. Because of this one, India is now recognized as the fifth largest economic power in the world. And a foreign policy will going to be very important for the economic popularity. So this we will come to know by these all the things. Okay. Now move to the next. It is principles of India's foreign policies. Those are, first one is opposition to the colonialism, opposition to the imperialism, opposition to the racial discrimination, then policy of non-alignment, priority for the progress of the African and Asian countries, support for disarmament, then seventh is support to the United Nations, and United Nations means UNO and world peace. So one by one we will come to know the explanation of this. So first one is opposition to the colonialism. Means what? India itself, it is once upon a time it is a colony of the Europeans countries. So that's why After once we got an independent, India don't want to any country should be the as a colony of the any other countries. Okay, India always going to opposing the colonialism. Next move to the opposition to the imperialism. Means India always going to oppose the imperialistic policy of rich country who expands their emperor by exploiting poor countries in the name of colonialism. Means they should not be the rich country, they should not be exploit the poor country, and they should not be occupied or capture the poor country on name of the colonialism. Then now move to the next. Opposition to the racial discrimination. Means India is always going to oppose this one. What that? That is what racial discrimination. As you know, in India we have the caste system, and unlike in European country and American countries and Africa, they have the racial discrimination on basis on the body color. So India is always going to means oppose for both caste system and as well as the racial discrimination. And one more is policy of non-alignment. What it means? After 1945, the world was divided into two groups. Already I have told you, America and Russia. India was not going to join for either America or Russia. It was neutral and protected its interest without joining any of the group. This is going to call it as a non-aligned policy. Then move to the priority for the progress of African and Asian countries. As you know, sovereign countries on world map, we came to know that African and Asian countries are economically backward due to the what? Colonialism. So India was going to always stand with these all the colonized countries once must come in mainstream of development. Means India wants these all should be come to the development. Support party disarmament. What it means disarmament means India supports the stand for the preventing the production of atomic bombs, hydrogen bombs and the threatening weapons. Because India also going to produce the nuclear weapons for they are going to using for only the self-defense. And our motto is there in our policy we are going to commit it, that is no first use these atomic and nuclear weapons. Last point it is support to United Nations and world peace. As you know, we have the Buddha's mantra of peace as our principle of foreign policy. And we are going to always supporting to the United Nations. And through that we are going to establish world peace, and it will going to what? For civilizations in the world. So is this the explanation about the first part of this lesson about India's foreign policy. In a next lesson we will come to know about the global challenges and India's role in the next lesson. So thanks for watching this video, my dears. If you have any doubt, any suggestion, then please comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get our latest updates. So by this one, once again I say thanks for you to watching this video. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.